Hello, I'm Sir Ken Robison, and this is One for All. One of the questions I think it's important now for people to spend some time thinking about properly is what is this all for?
Our education system has mined our minds in the way that we strip mined the earth.
Human beings are uniquely creative. It isn't an incidental power that a few people have. It is what sets us apart, or at least distinguishes us as a species. We don't live in the world just as we find it. We have ideas about it. We communicate about it. We create works within it. We transform our environment. And you see an outpouring of creativity just now in response to the pandemic. It is what we do. And it seems to me highly curious that in our education systems, we've come to ignore it as if it's some exotic capacity that a few kids have who have weird hairstyles and something that we can cultivate on a Friday afternoon when all the serious work has been done.
Kiran, when I say the word contagion, what comes to mind?
Well, it's getting a little bit of a bad rap these days, but if I can re-spell it and call it cantagion, I think then it brings back to what we do in education. I think the idea of I can be empowered and powerful, and I use the word unlocking now also in reference to all this lockdown that we all are in. That's the contagion that is not only alive within you, but is spreading outside as well.
I think that the whole school is a family, and we are a small school, but I think all of us will know all of our names, and we are one family, not just a school.
I keep saying we're born human by chance, but we become humane by choice. It's even more urgent that we build in children the idea of agency for the greater good. I have never been more convinced that that's the entire purpose of why we come together. You have to come and visit Riverside because we're always hugging each other. We're always with each other, and it's such a tactile team.
It's the old Chinese character, isn't it? The character for crisis is made up of two characters. One is danger and the other is opportunity. I've campaigned for a long time for radical changes in our education systems.
We have to rethink the fundamental principles on which we're educating our children.
And I wasn't hoping for a pandemic to create the opportunity for it to happen. Out of this danger, there is an opportunity to rethink some of the fundamental ideas and assumptions that we take for granted.
So, I'm on to yet another Zoom call.
How would you describe this time in one word?
I think opportunity. I have to say 70% of us are not technologically savvy. So we had this amazing growth curve and growth spurt. Pretty much everything had to be learned online. So it was crazy. We went back to our kids. We kept asking them to tell us whether it was working. I have not seen us laugh as much as we did and get frustrated and go back to the drawing board again and again. But it has been crazy.
You know, when we're away from the school, I do miss it a lot. We learn by experiences, by trying hands-on activities, which I really enjoy.
If in December this year we look back at this moment, we wanted to ask ourselves, how did we as a community rise to the occasion? What did we do with this time? Were we creative and compassionate, or we were disheartened and weighed down by the crisis? So I think as a team, we got together and pretty much very early on said we could make this crisis into an opportunity.
It's also an opportunity to rethink what this is all going to look like when we go back to schools. those buildings that we've all vacated now. It's the first time in the history of mass education that the system has been stalled. And this is the time to turn our creative powers to envisaging conditions where we really will flourish, and to shake off some of these ideas that were inherited from the past 200, 300 years about how the world ought to be, and to look at how it could be.